Welcome, friends. Here we are on this another week of Optimal Evolution programming. We are going into week 6 now. Can you believe it? We're about halfway through this quarter 2, this spring season. We're right in the middle of spring, y'all, and I know you can look outside and see the transformation happening. Things are blossoming, and with that, you might feel the energy rising, getting ready for this summer season that is approaching. But right now, we are in the midst of the spring, which is the element of the fire, which is the element of setting intentions and really setting the stage for what is to be nurtured in the summer. So here we are in this prep week now of the build phase. So our average is a 4-3-1. So we're just coming off of a rest week. So obviously now we're going to ramp things back up a little bit on you. We ain't done with this volume yet. I mean, we are in the prep phase this quarter 2. So lots of volume, you know, all of the above. May need some volume afterwards. All right, let's hop into it. Coach TJ, go ahead and take us away.
Here we go, right into it, everyone. Weakness day, 5-5-1. We're back at them fives. You know what I mean? Rest week. Hopefully, you guys got a chance to do a little bit of recovering, move through it, but now back in the blender, as they say. So, starting off with a nice little snatch complex, getting you guys ready for what's coming next, which is the 10 rep max for that snatch, clean, and jerk. So, give you a little taste of what that volume could be like. We have a complex starting off with an above the knee hang muscle snatch, so just going right, down to that hang, stopping above the knee though, going back up for the muscle snatch, and then we're going to go to above the knee hang power snatch. So now I'll go, all right, finish it, catching it high into that full snatch motion, but just that top position of it, and then above the knee actual full snatches. All right, so then going down to that full depth, but still going from that hang, and then finishing off with some overhead squats. So it's as many reps as it sounds like. All right, we got 5 sets of 3. All right, so 3 of the muscle snatch, 3 also of the above the knee hang power snatch, 2 full snatches, and then 2 overhead squats. So guys, this one we're anticipating it's gonna clearly, it's a 1 also, so very light. All right, but just getting your body used to again that higher volume. You will probably be out of breath after every set, but it's gonna be good to kind of get you guys used to lighter weight, still getting that form nice and tight. And honestly, it's going to be good for you overall. Just moving forward. All right, number 2, same idea with the clean and some jerks as well. So same idea, above the knee hang power cleans. All right, and then above the knee hang cleans, full cleans, front squat into a power jerk. So that finish it with the feet going out to the side, and then a split jerk. Obviously, the feet split apart. So same idea, we got 3 of those above the knee hang power cleans, 2 of the hang full cleans, 2 front squats, 2 power jerks, and 1 split jerk. So again, you're gonna be huffing and puffing a little bit, but keeping that weight light so that obviously it's manageable, everything stays tight. Okay, next we have a Zercher squat. Okay, so that's bunch of different ways. Ideally, right, what we thinking about it, we're having a barbell loaded or maybe unloaded here in the front right position as you're having to crouch over and do your squats that way, but obviously trying to keep a neutral spine, keep your body in good position. However, if that's we're not quite able to do it that way, there's other ways we can load that front position, and we'll figure out ways whether you want to do like a dumbbell or maybe a bag, one of the heavier bags to kind of keep that position, kind of like we did with those bags last week. But either way, that front loaded type of squat, 5 by 10 out of 1. Next we have weighted push-ups. So obviously for some of us won't really be doing weighted, but if you can stand it, obviously maybe a plate or something on your back to help you get some more resistance for the full range of motion push-up. Again, translating over to the bench press that we're building on right now. So however you need to do that for the weighted push-ups, and then single leg RDL for that hinge / deadlift equivalent. So just getting a dumbbell or kettlebell. All right, your opposite leg's gonna be on the ground that has the weight in it, keeping that nice neutral position as I'm going down, opening up the hamstrings, and they're gonna be 5 by 10 on each side. So be a nice, very full day for you all. But all right, taking it to a specific day with Coach Nate.
Those complexes seem like would be much of a mental exercise, remembering all the numbers.
Remembering all of them, yeah, for sure.
All right, so going into day 2, and remember, if you're on the 3-day program, you'll just see the weakness, the strength, and the test. The 4-day program will add in the accessory, and then only if you're on the 5-day program do we have this specific day. But for the specific day, we got a 5-4-1. So again, pretty high volume, low intensity, and it's Super Total Tuesday, y'all. That's what these have turned into. So we've got snatch, clean and jerk, squat, bench, and deadlift, all at 5x4 at a 1 intensity. And ain't much else to say about that.
Ain't much to say about that. All right, we'll take it over to strength day then. And we're gonna just keep it somewhat simple for you all. And we're gonna do power snatches and power cleans, 3x4 at a 2. All right, so we can load this up a little bit heavier because we're not focusing on going to that full depth squat in these 2, and just kind of focusing on that form going from the floor now. So you should have a little bit more momentum, kind of like trying to like get a little bit more. And it's at 2 as well, so a little bit spicier. You can pour, yeah, you can put the foot down on the gas a little bit more. We're not flooring it, but we're kind of like we're not in the school zone anymore either. We're
that baby hum a little bit.
Yeah. And then the thruster. So if you don't know what a thruster is, basically it's a front load of the barbells in the front, holding it like a front squat position basically, or like you're gonna do some kind of a press, but you're gonna go down into a front squat and then finish up at the top with an overhead press. So I have to show you guys what that looks like, but it's gonna be a little heavier, and that way you're getting a little bit more of that like jerky type of like that pressing motion, but also getting some squatting in there as well. So that'd be fun, right? You guys, if you can front squat, if you can clean, right, you can do a thruster. You know what I mean? Like, so should be fun to see you guys to take that one on. Okay, and then obviously on technique day, bar work, active recovery. It's a 2. So whatever that looks like for you. But obviously, if this first days of the week kind of beating you up a little bit, if you want to do more relaxing, that's fine. But we have found that movement is medicine. So if you're feeling like really beat up, even a walk outside, right, as the weather's getting better, probably help to facilitate the recovery process a little more than if you just like sat around all day. So just something to think about. All right, accessory day.
All right, here we go. Accessory day. This is a 4-3-1 for the parameters for the day. So we're gonna keep things a little bit more compact, as you will see. I mean, we still got a nice wide range of different things. We're still digging in that bag, y'all. We haven't even touched the surface of this bag. All right, so we're gonna start out a little bit of strongman movements. So we'll do yoke walk plus a tire flip, 3 rounds, 100 feet each. Obviously, yes, the yoke walk, at least the one we have at East Race Muscle, might be even heavy, just empty for some people. So even if you have to maybe not necessarily even go 100 feet, but just keeping that intention of, okay, it is a 1, so I want to keep things a little lighter, but at the same time, we still want to work. And then tire flips, 100 feet. And then the next superset, or this will be more of a circuit, we'll do a 1-arm dumbbell row. This will be more like a bodybuilding style. 1-arm dumbbell row, supersetted with, it's a dumbbell step up with an overhead press. So you'll hold the dumbbells in a front rack position, and then you'll go into the step up, and then as you're going up into the step up, you'll press overhead. So that by the time you're finished with your step up, your arms will be overhead locked out with the dumbbells, okay? And then you'll alternate each side. So you'll end up doing 8 total presses, but that'll be 4 alternating step-ups, 4 per side of each leg of the step-ups, okay? And then lastly, you're gonna do a static hold chin-up with knee raises. So you're gonna hold yourself at the top of the chin-up position, so we're really gonna get your biceps going here. Hold yourself at the top of the chin-up position, and then from that position, you'll do the knee raises. So 8 knee raises, holding yourself for the duration of however long it takes you to do 8 knee raises. And you'll do 2 rounds of this circuit. Yeah, and I already said all the reps. And then we'll go on the back side. Day 5 continues. All right, so the next thing is going to be a little bit of a conditioning circuit. So we'll do a sled push and pull. So you'll push the sled down and then you'll pull it back. So basically going forward and then going backwards, 100 feet each. And then you'll superset that, you'll go right into alternating dumbbell snatch. So starting with one arm, going from the floor, snatch up overhead, and then back down, switch arms, other side, overhead. So 200 feet total with the push and the pull, pushing 100 feet, pulling 100 feet with the sled, and then 1 minute total of the alternating dumbbell snatch. So again, keep in mind it is a 1, so you can choose your weight accordingly. And then lastly, we'll have a corrective circuit or superset here. So we'll do the Sorensen hold, which that's the GHD machine where you're just statically holding yourself at the top parallel to the ground. 1 minute hold, or if you need to break that up, if 1 minute is a little much, which hell, that might even be a little much for me. If you need to break that up, you can break it up, but 1 minute total hold, and then you'll superset that with kneeling on the Swiss ball with a horizontal press. So you'll knees on the Swiss ball, kneeling on the Swiss ball. And again, for some, even just working to kneeling, like that might be what you're doing for the duration of the minute, and that's fine. But assuming you can do it kneeling on the Swiss ball, you're gonna get a plate, maybe like a 5 kilo plate or something like that. You'll get one of the plates, and then you'll just press out and bring it back in horizontally for the minute. All right, and you're gonna do 3 rounds of that. So that is our accessory day. So let us continue our journey.
The journey always comes to an end, and it has to end with a beautiful test to continue to prepare you for the other tests you'll have, specifically our tests, but also life's test. So as we've been running this same test for the last few weeks, 20 rep max, squat, bench, deadlift. If you took it a little lighter last week because it was a rest week, totally fine. But as I said, we're back in the blender. So we can, and again, you may have this number in your mind. Okay, I got, whatever. I got 145 last week. I want to go for 155. And that's fine. Having a goal is always fine. But I think, again, even those little wins of like, hey, I did maybe the same weight, but I got a little quicker, or it didn't tax me as much, right? Like the ways in which we see progress don't have to be very like the same across the board, right? Or maybe your squat and bench go up, but your deadlift it, Just try to find, as your body gets more conditioned to what you're doing, just, you have a little bit more confidence, a little bit more, hey, I can do this. This is a little bit easier. It's a little bit better, right? So just go into it, squat, bench, deadlift, the vibes, just push a little bit more, okay? And obviously we wrap things up. Still working on those native plant flashcards, but they are coming. They are coming soon.
Very soon.
Very soon. And then, as Coach Day would say, on the 7th day, the Lord rested.
The Lord rested. So. He did that AR. Active recovery, you know what I mean?
Put out the blick.
All right, my friends. There it is. You know what it is. The journey is the way. So let us continue the way of harmonizing the complementary opposites of life. Because what is hot seeks the cold. What is light seeks the dark to know itself as the light. Yes. All right, my friends. Blessings.
Love you guys.